Welcome back everyone to City Skylines, just as the sun dips below the horizon with some beautiful classical music on the radio. As you can see, I've let a little bit of time pass. I actually expanded a few designations for some housing and commercial just along there, but in the most part I haven't really touched the city. I just let it play through. The Sylvan Heights area has gained a fair bit of size. In fact, I actually added a little tiny bit there as well, just to be sure that the city was actually going to recover, and it did. Most of the abandoned buildings have now been removed. We've still got a few here and there, but they should fix themselves in time as well. The majority of the abandoned buildings have, however, slipped away, and you can see we've got a very healthy income in the city as well. We're back up to 4 million, and in fact not far off the population milestone that we were at previously of 55,000, the highest population that we've had so far. Now, we're going to continue development of this little area, and I feel that this classical music is definitely affecting my overall mood. I can definitely feel my commentary kind of slowing down, being a little bit more calm than it was in the sort of moment of panic just at the end of the last episode. Now let's draw this out. I might actually pop down a little park here as well, just so that my citizens have somewhere to go and relax. Let's have a look at what options we have. We've got plenty of plazas, and I've been placing those down here and there, but I'd like something a little bit more picturesque, if I'm perfectly honest. Let's have a quick look. Oh, this is a little bit more of a upbeat number though. Let's see, let's have a little garden right there. I think that's going to be quite lovely. In fact, I'm not particularly fond of this one. Can I see the actual music that's available on this station? Can I like restrict that particular song? Doesn't seem I can, which is actually quite sad. Okay, well, if we're going to have some wonky little jazz number like this, I may as well go back to the regular City Skylines for a little bit. Okay, so there we are. This should develop over time. We've got a fair demand for commercial, actually, and a huge demand for industrial, which is extremely exciting for me right now. All right, let's go ahead and draw this out just a wee bit more. Just to have it curve off down here. So about there, and then something like this. That'll have to do. Alright, now, do we want water? We do, actually. We do want water. As a general rule, you do want water, but we want it specifically just to get these out there as well. And we'll draw this down. Again, I don't want this one specifically to be touching the outer road. Not my goal, just at the moment. I'm starting to feel that through the middle of Sylvan Heights, we are actually going to want a stronger road to carry a little bit more traffic, actually. It's not something I'd budgeted for, but alright, we're going to upgrade some of these roads, and it is going to result in a bit of loss here and there, and that's just something we're going to have to accept. I'm terribly sorry to say. Something like that, sure. And then we will move to a freestyle road, just sweeping out around here. Something a little bit like that, I think, should do. That'll give us a nice strong current for the traffic to move through. Alright, with that, we can continue out our development of this area, though our demand for industrial is actually abating somewhat. We'll keep an eye on it. I don't want to overproduce industrial, but overproducing offices, not nearly as bad as overproducing dirty, heavy industry, as a general rule. Alright, that'll do. We could leave this area open for some sort of plaza, and I kind of like that idea. We'll just connect that up, and we'll have a plaza or something in there. You know what? How about a Chinese garden here as well? I feel that'd actually be quite nice. It doesn't just need to be plazas they have. Some of my office workers might want to just go and relax in a bit of nature. Well manicured nature, which is particularly natural, if I'm perfectly honest. But still, there's the desire every now and then to just go and sit amongst some trees and some beautifully raked gravel paths. And who am I to deny my citizens these small comforts? Actually, let's go ahead and build out a little path down here as well. I'd like to connect it up. Let's turn off the road. No, not the road guidelines. Where do we want it? Oh, maybe, yeah, road guidelines, yes, okay. That is, in fact, what we want. And we'll have just a little connection right up there. Just to draw that across, because that is actually a large block when you think about it. We could do something similar down here, but unfortunately it would result in the loss of a building. I will accept it for now. In fact, we'll lose 2. Unfortunate, but necessary, I feel. I wouldn't mind getting a straight connection just across this plaza here. Right all the way down. There we are. I'll also hook up the bus lane right there. And maybe a little one right over here as well. I do like having paths between these large blocky parts of my city. I feel that it adds quite a lot. Though with that done, let's go ahead and pop down a couple of trees here and there just to fill out these little areas that are nestled in amongst the areas where we've got our offices going up. Wherever we can fit them, really. Just to make it look a little bit happier, a little bit more wild and actual connected with nature, not quite so densely packed in an urban sense. I really am gonna love once we move to modded City Skylines. That is the thing I will like the most, is having the ability to just have much more varied trees and having like a tree brush. That is going to be a huge thing for me. We do need to make sure we've got adequate water over here though. Ooh. There we go. Can we get that down there? Yes, we can. Perfect. We'll go ahead and connect that up and down there as well. There we are. That should help out a wee bit. We're up to 58,000 citizens. Let's flick back to classics and see what we've got there. Oh, no! Damn it! I want classics. I want nice and chilled out. I want the ASMR of City Skylines right now. I will actually have a look around and see if I can adjust that radio station in some way so it only plays the really chilled out stuff. Right, we are going to want to continue building up our low density residential along this little area here. I think that'll look lovely. And with that, actually, let's have a look at some of our unique buildings. City Hall, we don't need that. The hypermarket. Okay. We have a panda sanctuary. Oriental Pearl Tower. When you're looking for state-of-the-art modern office space. Ooh, yes. Yes. I am indeed, as it happens, looking for state-of-the-art modern office space. That'll affect this entire area. Oh, I like it. Let's get that plonked down right there. It's going to cost us a fair old bit of money, but I think it's going to be worth it. And we're actually going to, at this point, upgrade this road. I would like this road to be significantly higher capacity and just sweeping straight up through here to connect up to the road up here at the top there. There we are. That is marvellous. Sylvan Heights has gone very high-tech. Look at that place. Actually looks brilliant. I really like it, actually. Oh, I know what I'm using for the thumbnail. That, right there. At night, as well. Perfect. Just looking out over the city. Let's find a shot that might be a little bit better. Because you don't want it just over all of the lights there. Otherwise, it kind of gets lost in it. But that. Perfect. I think so, yes. That will be the thumbnail unless I forget. But let me know what you thought about that shot in the comments. Because I think you can get some really amazingly beautiful shots in this game. You can really decorate your world in City Skylines. And it's one of the things that I like a lot about this particular city builder over many others, really, is that ability to just be decorative, to really make the city yours. Right, that is a bus stop right there, so we're not going to be hooking up with that, but we can hook up down here in some capacity and then just curve over there. There we go. That gives us a little bit more industrial that we can place down as well. But that is absolutely beautiful. We are losing a chunk of money right now, though, which is it's not good, to say the very, very least. Let's make sure that our water supply is reaching all the way to the ends of these roads so that I can continue building up the commercial, if nothing else. I do like the commercial to be along the heavier roads just because it allows the delivery trucks easier access. There we go, all the way down there. And along this side we will continue building up the low density as well. Now we could, if I really wanted to, you know what? Yes, I actually like the idea of changing this to high density along this arterial road. It's not actually a high capacity road, but in my mind this is more of a larger road running straight through this residential area. This will be where all of the larger residences exist, and I'm afraid if I can get this down quickly, then we'll save anyone having to lose their homes. Unfortunately, we've already lost. Someone has lost their home, and I am sorry for that. But we can't stand in the way of progress. Right, let's bring this up there. Sure, I may have some. I think we'll go with a couple of little terraces just along this road. I am quite fond of my terraces, as you may have noticed, but I'm not super fond of having the terraces butt up against each other. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a nice little path just running the length, just a gentler path all the way up like that, all the way connecting these, and then we can connect them on the ends. Something like that. I think that actually ends up looking quite nice. There we go. So it's very easy for anyone to get around on that side, and we can fill this up then with trees along there if we would like to. Down on this side we're going to go with a tree-lined street, actually. I would like this tree-lined street to just connect up, just like that. Perfect. Right, with that then, we are going to go ahead and start placing down some terraces. We'll use just low residential terraces here, just along this path. Sure, that'll be fine. We'll actually have them on both sides there. That should give us a little bit more. But our demand for industry is skyrocketing. How are we doing down here? We're not doing too bad. We seem to have all of our dirty industries. They do have enough people working them now. Okay, so we have probably found a somewhat balance with uneducated workers. Excellent news. Excellent news. Oh, well, I say uneducated. And I will repeat, I find it... offensive is the wrong word, but I feel it is the wrong way to look at it, that the people in these are uneducated, creating this kind of stereotype and dogma that, well, if you're working in as a cashier in a supermarket, or if you're working in a steelworks, it's just because you didn't do well in school. No, it's because there's not enough bloody jobs, is what I've found. The amount of people with extremely impressive, sometimes intimidating degrees, and in fact one person who had a doctorate working in a call center just because nowhere else was hiring. I mean, it's super depressing, and I appreciate that people might not want to be reminded about the grim realities of life, but at the same time, let's not perpetuate the myth that anyone in these kinds of jobs is there because they didn't do well enough in school, maybe because they were lazy, because that's the next assumption that comes along. No, it's because there just aren't enough jobs. Too many people, not enough jobs. There we go. Though, don't say the too many people part, because people tend to read more into that than you mean for them to read. No, I am not saying that we need to go on a massive cull of people. Though it would solve some problems, but I'm not saying that. What I am saying is maybe there are too many of us for the amount of jobs that exist. Something which, unfortunately, my preferred area of expertise. Well, I'm not particularly an expert in it, but definitely the whole. Machine learning, genetic algorithms, artificial intelligence, yeah, the whole automation thing, not helping the problem. I am part of the problem. I admit it, I am sorry. I'm sorry for everyone who hasn't got a job because a machine does it better than you. And I'm also sorry that I put it in such a blunt way. I know it's not nice hearing that, but it is true. They don't sleep. They don't need wages. In most cases, there is a significantly higher investment to begin with. Though not actually when you stack it up against how much it costs to get a human from birth to the point where it can work. Actually, you know, it's just that the company doesn't have to bear the burden of that expense, usually. But, you know, maybe in the future. Who knows? The world is going in a very, very curious direction these days. But, you know, if you did stack that up versus the cost of just buying a machine that will just do a job endlessly without error, hopefully, I think humans may be losing out on several different fronts here. I'm sorry, I'm just calling it as I see it. I can't hide that I am definitely intrigued by the potential that machines offer. Even if it does come at the cost of lots of jobs. And I am sorry about that. And also, I'm not one of these people who's very hopeful. It's like, oh, well, this is just make more jobs. We'll just get jobs fixing the machines. No, I'm afraid that moment has passed. That was around when, like, the most complicated machines we had used lots of gears and knobs and vacuum tubes. No, at this point, we're not making more jobs by making things automated. We're just taking them away. Let's be honest with ourselves. The first step in correcting any problem is to stop lying to yourself what the problem is. Right. Well, that was incredibly grim. Let's go back to the classical station. Let's see if that'll lift my mood. Ah, yes. This is nice. This is nice. I approve. I approve a lot. Okay, let's continue with this. Wow, late night with Aavak. I would not be a very good, you know, late night radio host. I would depress everyone listening to me. I'd depress myself while depressing everyone listening to me. Alright, let's get this down here. And, no, that seems decent enough, I think. We could start building this place up with some more dense residentials, though actually at the moment we don't need that. So what we could do instead is build up more commercial along here. And sure, let's go for some more densely set up commercial then. I'm going to leave a little gap there, though. And, oh yeah, I really like this piece. It's kind of somber, but in a beautiful way. Right, let's continue on down here. And all the way there. That'll do. We'll allow those to build out before I do anything else. We could increase the land value around this area by putting down some nice little places that people could go and boat and things like that. It's definitely an option for us. But for now, let's just continue building up our office spaces. And since we've got this little area here, let's go ahead and plonk down a decent amount of trees as well, just in the background there. There we are, and some wee bushes, just following along the outline of this area, just marking the perimeter where you shouldn't really walk on the grass. There we go. I think we want some rocks, naturally, just to liven her up a little bit. And let's pop this one about there. Some small rocks here. Ooh, they all look the same. Really do wish you could handle this on your own without me having to micromanage it. City Skylines, I'll be honest with you, it is a small flaw. But there we are. We'll just leave that as is. Actually, maybe one or two tall trees. Let's see if we can get a nice big tall... Ooh, perfect. Perfect tall tree. I approve. There we are. That's nice. I think so. Okay, so right now we do not need any extra residents. What we want, desperately, in fact, is more jobs. Let's actually check that, shall we? Let's see what our job state is at. We've got... let's see, unemployment is up 13%. My lord, that is depressing. Let's get that fixed right sharpish, shall we? Let's have a straight road just going through there, and we'll branch this off just a little bit down here. In fact, we can take this in either direction and have that work out there. Let's go for a nice curving road over on this side, though. We'll bring this out to about here, and I would like it curving all the way up and joining there. It's not exactly the best curve, but it's decent, I think. It doesn't need to look exact, because then you kind of lose the reason why you're building the curve in there anyway. But there we go, that should be a nice little area. We've got room for another plaza, actually, or another park. Let's actually have a look if we've got any unique buildings which would work there. We've got the temple complex. Wow, that would actually be quite nice. But we're not going to place that one down here, though. We've got the department store, city hall. I mean, sure. Okay, let's pop this down. We've already got this lovely building over there, but we'll add in city hall as well. And I am leaving that intentionally clear so that I can place down some trees. Terribly sorry. I lost myself in listening to the radio hosting. Oh, that was rather bad of me. I do apologise for the sudden break in my commentary. There we go. I'm feeling really chilled out playing tonight for some reason. It may have been the red wine I had before I started playing. There we go. Right, that's all well and good. Let's also get rid of this so it doesn't just delete all of my trees. There we are. That's actually quite pretty, I think. Quite pretty. We need a little bit of something in here, though. See what we can place down. Sure. Let's actually have a large rock if we can. Sure. Ah, no. I wasn't paying enough attention to what I was doing. Silly me. See, can I get that up there? I might be able to if I'm very careful. Yes, I can. Oh, fantastic. That'll eventually get rebuilt. In the meantime, let's just drop down a curb. I wish I could put trees around that. I really do. I think that would make that look amazing if I could just dot the trees in there. That'll have to do. That would just do that. Okay. Police offer small storage space. Oh, that's good that we don't have enough criminals to fill our jails. Order availability. Garbage processing, not so great. Not as good as it could be. We could... Yeah, I think we're going to have to place another one down here then. Let's have this just popped around there. Should help. There we are. Garbage processing has gone up. Education. Now this is... We're at a decent balance right now. Actually, we're really not. We really need another high school. Okay. Let's go ahead and build one of those then. I would like a high school, please. And this, of course, can go into the residential area right here. Seems as good a place as any to place one. Can we get that to fit in anywhere? We can sort of squeeze it in there if we want to. Or I can just place it there. I think I will. There we go. And now that I've placed that, I'm going to go ahead and build this little area up around it as well. There we go. That'll do. I'm still not sure on whether we're going to do any like very high density residential. We may actually build this area up around here as high density residential. That might actually work. In that case, if that's going to be the case, we're going to build up the low density around there. We don't need it yet, but we will eventually. Now, see, the thing is with all of this, we no longer strictly need to avoid building anything down here. We could actually go for some low density commercial just along this road. We'll get a couple people heading down here, do a little bit of shopping just outside the massive office district. Yeah, I like that. I like that quite a lot, if I'm perfectly honest. Alright, we'll leave that there. Actually, we'll also pop a couple just up along here as well, just to build out this commercial demand, because we've actually got a really high commercial demand right now. I really wasn't expecting to be doing as much building on this side of the city as I am. I honestly expected to be doing more building down here than anywhere else, but on that note, we can flesh this out just a little bit. Because I'm going to feel way too bad if I give you nothing. Absolutely no way to just blow off steam and maybe not be surrounded by chemical plants and stuff. I'm going to make a little park in here. I can't play this game and not care about my simulated citizens. Do we have anything small enough? I'm not going to put a kids council there. What's this? A dog park? No, I'm not going to have people putting their dogs there. Maybe a little oriental garden, a tropical garden. No, I don't think it would survive. So it'll be this one then. There you go. I have to think as I would a real mayor. And of course they have no feelings. They're simulated in not particularly high detail either. But I can't play this and not imagine it. I guess I kind of role play in every series I do to some extent. Right, let's continue flashing this little area out. We may go for another unique building somewhere around here, but not just yet. There we are. I think that's going to look lovely. We are actually developing decently. We've got a lot of commercial around here now. We've got a lot of things going on. Yeah, I'm really liking that. I'm liking that we decided to change Sylvan Heights. Its specialization around. Now, one thing we could do down here, and I'm really tempted to, in fact I'm going to, we are going to develop an area just up around here. It's going to be green. All of this is going to be green. I will take it away from the commercial though. So let's just build this up. This is going to be our high density residential around here. I'm going to just draw that back though. I don't want the commercial buildings along the road to be affected by it because they won't be high density then. So we just need to push it back just a wee bit from the high capacity road there. And the same up here as well. Let's just follow the road up to its theoretical eventual end point over there. Right, residential. I would like it to be self-sufficient buildings, please. Let's go for that. Full on green. And Crescent Hills, I would like your policies to be very green policies. So, encourage biking. I'm not going to ban high-rises, no. That was a bit silly. Lightning rods, definitely. And electric cars where possible, please. Services, smoke detector distribution, recycling, parks and recreation. I'd also like to give you an education boost as well, and recreational use of drugs. And yeah, it should be educational blimps too. There we are. That's pretty solid area. We're not going to be getting to that yet, for a little while in fact. But once we do, I'll be very good. I'm going to build out the high density commercial just along this road because we are actually going to be heading straight up. So let's go ahead and grab that, and we should be able to build this up. It's a nice kind of upbeat classical tune, but I'm okay with this one. I feel it's still the right kind of vibe coming from it, despite it's faster tempo. Let's go through there. There we are. And we are going to want to come straight down. I'll bring this road out as far as that, and then we're going to curve away as it happens. Down here, brush up. Now, because this is going to be a high-rise area, we're going to need stronger roads for this because we're going to have a significantly higher capacity of residencies using these roads. Do I really want it down there though? I'm going to say no there. I think that's enough for what we're going to be building up towards. We have no demand for residential though, so there's no point in us going through all the setup just yet, since we don't actually want any residential right now. I am super tempted to buy that as soon as we have the opportunity to. And I like this piece quite a lot actually. Let's go through there, all the way up. Perfect. There we are. So this is going to be the shell of our office area. At this point, I think it is more or less guaranteed we're going to need better public transport over here. To both these locations, actually. So perhaps we should build that in now. Let's go and find the subway. Yeah, we definitely want a subway somewhere along here. And I'm going to say we're going to want it right bang smack there. And then another point. We'll leave it in the more dense residential area there, I think. Let's have this curve up. that. There we go. I think that's a bit of a nicer curve there. And you can absolutely come out here. Start curving a little bit more aggressively, please. And then connect. There we are. Perfect. And we only need to adjust this one route. I would like you to come all the way up there. In fact, I want you to go all the way over here, as it happens. And then I want you to just add in some extra routes along the way, on each side. So it stops off both times. Yep, there and there. There we go. Perfect. I think that will do very, very well for us. For the time being, I'll just connect that up now. And we'll lay down the pipe works as well. I think this is probably going to push us to the next milestone. Once it's actually developed, because it is going to be generally high rises in this particular part. So I would be very surprised if it didn't get us to the next milestone. We're not that far off, actually. We're only 7,000 residents off. Wow! My lord. 14% unemployment still. Yikes. Okay, well, let's pop down a couple more smokestacks then. Let's get all of these going. There we are. There we go. We're probably going to want to run a subway down here and possibly even into Linden Heights as well at some point. How's the rest of the city doing? It looks okay for the most part. Water is alright. Electricity is alright. Garbage seems alright. Yeah, it's a little bit questionable. Hazard is 31%. It's actually going up. Alright, we definitely need some enhanced capacity down here. I almost feel like I would like a little roundabout in here. In fact, I do. I want a little roundabout in here. So let's go ahead and make that, shall we? And we'll make it a simple one-way tree-lined roundabout. There we go. Let's bring this up as far as that. There we go. See, this is the problem. Is this is going to connect up in all kinds of weird ways. So let's just make the roundabout first, shall we? Without being interrupted by the roads that already existed there. There we go. And then we can just hook that up then. There we go. Just have a straight road connecting. Hopefully. And a straight road connecting. Hopefully. There we go. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And from there we can actually branch out a little bit. Now we could even have this as part of a service area, actually. I kind of like that idea, I'll be honest with you. Let's just bring it out to about here. Then I want it stretching off in each direction, more or less like this. And we'll have a bit of a curve down there. There we go. This can just be a little service area right in the middle of all of this. And the first service that we want is a fire station. We're going to plump you down right about there. We're going to need to bring you some water and, of course, a bit of electricity to boot. I actually think you're already hooked up to water. Marvelous. Oh, that has made a massive impact. Listen to all of those places upgrading. Oh, that was good. That was very good. Yes, our citizens really, really do appreciate that work. Still a little bit of need down here, though. Maybe a small one, just to make people happy. If for no other reason than there will be someone available to hold fireworks displays. There we go. You've got to think about these things. If they have to travel for miles to get professional advice on using their fireworks, then you can expect a lot of fires and people blowing their hands off because they're dumb and think, oh, it didn't go off. I better just go and collect it. Bang! Ah, my hand. Unfortunately, I've seen that happen, which is kind of gruesome. I joke about it now, but it's actually incredibly traumatic. But yeah, don't mess around with fireworks. They are basically bombs. Pretty bombs, but they are bombs. Don't think that they are something else just because they've got a different name. They are bombs. Right. Let's see what else is going on. Crime rate is actually pretty low. Very happy with that, actually. Okay, we've got a sliver of demand for residential. That's marvelous. I'm actually really, really pleased with that. We're going to continue building up our extremely dense commercial around here, though. Fantastic. There we are.
I'll be playing some lesser-known gems from those eras, so don't go away.
I won't. There we are. Perfect. And then that's actually going to be fairly nice. What about the police over here, though? The police, it's fine. There's just no crime. There's no crime because people are happy. We are going to need to increase education, though. I really do feel that education is probably a big thing. We've got a high school. Do not have an elementary school. We could. And we could go with a modern elementary school. We can even put it down there. There's a little part of me that likes having your elementary school next to the high school. Not the same building, which unfortunately both my primary school and later on my elementary school, I went to a different one. But they both kind of were right there, more or less the same institution. And I felt that was a little bit weird because, you know, the primary schoolers would have different break times and the high schoolers had different break times. And I'm not sure they should be that closely linked, but having them proximate to one another was nice because then you'd have elder siblings checking in from time to time on the younger siblings, just making sure that everything was going all right. And I think that kind of, honestly, I think that sort of teaching the elder siblings the responsibility of looking after their family is actually pretty important. When you remove that and have them too distinct, I don't know. It probably doesn't make much of a difference. It probably isn't a negative thing, but I think it's a very positive thing to have your elder siblings knowing that, well, at the end of the day, your parents aren't around. You are effectively the closest thing to a parent that your younger brother or sister has, and it's your job to look out for them and make them feel safe. Right. I'm fairly happy with the way that this is building up, but we do need to expand it out a little bit more. So let's pop down a little bit more of a road all the way up there and try and link it up in a meaningful way. Yeah, there we go. That should give us a lot of room to develop over on this side. Okay, so let's start then somewhere around here. I'm going to bring this up to about there, and then I want a straight road just linking that up. And also, bring it down and then we'll curve it. Think about there. Sure, that looks nice to me. We could even have a sort of terraced effect going on in here if we really want to. Something like that. Oh, we've heard this one already. Shame it doesn't have that much variation, I suppose. And one there, and one there as well. And I'll just take that all the way up. That being said, this is actually quite a pretty piece. So I'm not too sad that we're hearing it again. But I do like variation. I'm not the sort of person that can just sit and listen to the same music over and over and over again. I used to be, though. I used to be to the keen frustration of my girlfriends at the time. Right, let me bring this down here as well. And connect that up as well. That's actually quite lovely. Any other people watching this at the moment that tend to have a favourite song and have the capacity to listen to it like 80 times in a row without getting bored? While I say I don't do that anymore, I think I'm always close to being able to do it. But I resist. I resist for the sanity of those around me. Right, let me bring this down. And yeah, we'll just have a couple of little paths around there. I think it'll make it look a little bit nicer. And we'll have a path just connecting up over there as well. There we go. We are going to need to hook this all up to public transport sooner rather than later, I would say. Well, I mean, we've got the subway, but it's not quite as good as having a lot of buses running through this area, I feel. Let's go ahead and, well, actually, we're just going to fill this area out, kind of one little block at a time, I think. We'll just get that done. I'm probably going to, yeah, we're going to fill this part out all the way down, but we're going to have some sort of plaza over here. In fact, let's go ahead and put that in now. Yeah, let's pop that in right there. Actually, this piece is super chill. It's really, I don't know, it makes my soul feel kind of that melancholy happiness, if that makes any sense at all. It's kind of a gentle, almost on the edge of being sad happiness. It's such an odd way of describing it, I know, but I just know what it feels like. It feels like I could be sad if I was in a different mood listening to this, but instead I've just got a kind of rainy day happiness about it. And actually, it's raining. As it happens, that works out well. But there we go. I think that'll come off okay. We're kind of dipping below the 4 million mark often, a little bit more often than I would like, if I'm honest with you. I think the last thing we're going to do in this episode is we're going to bring you down, get a little bit of a curve, just out something like that, and then can we connect that up? No, we cannot. So I'm afraid that little shop is going to have to go, because all of this needs to be residential around here, just to help out a little bit with the residential demand that we have at the moment. I think that actually looks quite pretty. I will almost certainly add in some unique buildings around this area, just to flesh her out a little bit, make people a little bit happy. I will add in a park, though, thinking about it. We've got a small area there, but I would actually like, you know, a little merry-go-round. Sure, that's going to make everyone super happy, because everyone loves merry-go-rounds. And in addition to that, I'm actually going to give you a basketball court as well. I would like you to keep yourselves in shape. As the mayor, I'm not only responsible for your happiness of your body by giving you places to shop and consume stuff, but the happiness of your soul as well. And exercise, I honestly believe that exercise is as much about your mood as it is about keeping you fit. I genuinely feel happier when I get to exercise often. And I don't think that's because my body is just saying, yeah, I'm healthy, this makes me happy. No, I think that's completely distinct. It probably is a little bit about it, actually. But no, I think for the most part, I'm just happier when I exercise, and endorphins and all that kind of stuff. But there we go. There we are. I'm fairly happy with the work that we've done, and we're probably going to be expanding on this in the next episode. Again, I'm probably going to look to start dropping down a couple more unique buildings. We are losing some people right now. We're kind of hovering around that 62,000, 63,000 mark. I think we can do a lot to improve it. And we do have a decent amount of demand for residential right now. I'm noticing a lot of deceased, though. That's a little bit of a concern. Do I have death care over here? I do. Right there. You know what, then? The last thing. The very promise now. This is I promise the last thing. I can have a cemetery over here, so it's kind of in amongst everything, or I can have a cemetery down here. And I think we're going to have a cemetery right on the edge. Right there. There you go. That should help a little bit. We should have a decent cemetery capacity. Ooh, hospital. Right, that'll be in the next episode, though. Otherwise, I'll never end this one. I do hope you've enjoyed, though, and will be joining me for the next. And as ever, you take care of yourselves.